Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
On tour.
On tour. On
I'm
location.
Kirsty on location.
And I'm Bryony. And we are currently in a tent together.
We are.
In the New Forest. We're next to a burial mound.
We are. Yeah.
So we might have some visitors in the night.
The only visitors we're going to get are Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah, we've had several Daddy Longlegs visit us.
We had to evict them. Shut ourselves in our tent.
Yeah, hopefully we're safe from them now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I just got attacked by one, but I think it was just me.
But we thought we would see what our dreams are like under the night sky. Although we are in a tent, but
We are in a tent and it's a bit cloudy.
yeah.
But we're surrounded by lovely horses and cows.
I was going to say, I wonder if we're just going to have dreams of horses.
Oh my God, maybe.
We've seen so many horses.
That's
and
true,
a
that's true.
lot of cows as well. But I mean, I've not been camping in so long that I don't remember if my dreams are ever different. I mean, we used to camp when we would go on holiday. We would go all the way down to the south of France, and we would camp like the first night halfway down, and then continue on. But this was before my dreaming days, so I don't remember.
To think before then. Yeah, we used to camp all the time when I was a kid. We wouldn't leave the UK, but we would go camping all over the shop. We'd go to Roydon Mill where they did Land Rover shows. 'Cause my dad was really into Land Rovers, and so we'd go and do a nice camp there. We'd go to Norfolk, like everybody in the UK, or over in Hertfordshire, sorry, not in the UK. Every child in Hertfordshire, we went to Yarmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd camp there as well. But our camping was always very, I wouldn't call it glamping, but it was not really camping.
Not roughing it.
We were not roughing it. We had a massive tent, which had this huge living area, like a big square space, and it had 3 compartments, like a big one in the middle for my parents and like one on either side for me and my brother.
Yeah.
And we'd get an electric hookup, and my parents would bring the mini fridge.
Oh, wow.
They would bring a microwave.
What?
We had like a little hob. We had all sorts, and yeah, it was not camping.
Oh my gosh. See, we had one of those tents that was like, it did have the bit in the middle, but then it had 3 bits around the outside.
Around the edges.
So yeah, my parents had one of those. Me and my sister had one, and my brother would have the other one. I remember like one night, the night that really sticks with me is when there was this lightning storm, and it was so bright that you would just be like, you just couldn't see it. You know when you like have a light shone in your eye and you can't see anything for a while after?
Like right now.
Yeah. It would be like that. Which, thinking back, because when we were coming here, it said it was going to be stormy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you can't be in a tent when it's a storm. And I was like, but I have such a memory of us just staying in the tent, and it was absolutely fine.
Being inside the tent with the rain like hitting on the outside is like one of the best things.
Yeah.
And being in a caravan as well when it's raining, it's so nice.
I'm hoping that it will maybe rain as we're waking up, but then it'll stop and let us not get rained on.
Yeah, waking up to the rain is lovely. But
yeah.
hopefully it's dry when we have to pack the tent away.
Yes.
But yeah, we're here for 2 nights. Tomorrow we're going to go exploring. And then on Monday we'll be off home. But yeah, we're going to have a lovely time and see if we have some nice dreams. I don't remember ever dreaming when I went camping as a kid, but I don't remember my dreams now. So
I mean, it is probably quite a good thing, because I've heard that dreaming whilst you're camping can be quite intense.
I expected that, but I still wasn't ready for it. When I did the Duke of Edinburgh Award, me and a mate made T-shirts. I think we called each other, like, our group name was like the Rubber Ducks or something. I don't know why. I think one of us had a rubber duck. And we made T-shirts, and we printed on the back, "Camping is intense." So we did our Duke of Edinburgh Award with that on our back.
It's an oldie but a classic.
It is. It is. Oh my God.
Well, we are gonna go to sleep, hopefully. Oh no, I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but there's a little Daddy Longlegs trying to get into the tent.
He's knocking on the door. I think he stopped. He left.
He's like, I want to be on a podcast.
Excuse me, sir, we have a podcast.
Would you like to be a guest? Although I think Daddy Longlegs don't have mouths, so I guess they're probably not the best podcast guests. Bless them.
He's trying.
Yeah.
he's buzzing his little heart out.
So yeah, let's go to sleep and see if we wake up with some nice dreams.
Yeah.
Or a horse.
Either
standing over us.
Either or. Both would be good.
Yeah. So, night-night for now, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Night-night.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. We are now in the village of Burley. We've escaped the tent and we've gone on a little journey. But yeah, it's time to talk dreams.
I had quite vivid dreams last night. I think the tent is the secret to unlocking my dreams.
Oh my gosh, we found it.
We've done it. Yeah, I'm going to struggle to remember them properly, but it'd be just because they were so convoluted. One of them, I was in some sort of building. It was like a kind of a haunted building. And I think it was a hotel. And I was staying there with a few people, and I'm going to miss a lot of things from it, and I'll probably be going back and forth. But at one point during the night, I went through a doorway and there were 2 chairs like stacked up, like haphazardly, as if a ghost had done it. And I was like, oh, and Nazi was like, that's a ghost, that is. And I was like, oh, geez. And I walked down the corridor and the lights were off. And I turned them on to try and see something. And all of the ghosts were like screaming at the doors. Like every door had a screaming ghost, like, why'd you turn the bloody light off or on? And then at that point, I got like shuffled into a side room by a couple of other people. And one of them he looked like a really skinny, what's his name? Pedro Pascal. Like it was like in my dream, what had happened was that this guy had been killed and Pedro Pascal's character had taken over. So he had this guy's body, but he had Pedro Pascal's like face. And this guy was trying to help me. And there was another like little, like almost like a baby, I think, that was just walking around trying to help me.
Oh. I don't know if you can pick that up.
Train.
There's like a steam festival going on. So.
Oh, it's the steamroller. It finally caught up.
Oh.
We drove past the steamroller on the way here, and we were like, is that a steamroller? It was, and it's just arrived. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh
Look at them go. Wow. But yeah, so there was this little baby trying to help me. And then a lot of timey-wimey stuff happened, and I got like thrown out of my timeline, and then I was in a street, and this baby was there, and it was like, to get you back to your timeline, we have to blow up this building, but we have to make it look like a government setup. So there was a shop that we had to blow up, and then there was an empty one further down that we had to blow up. And it all happened on like a big model. Like as I was watching it happen, it was like on a model. So we weren't blowing up anything big in the end.
Yeah.
And then when the little baby told us to do that, we then walked around this building, and then there were markings on the building that looked like the dice from Armello.
Oh.
And he was like, these are going to be like secret things that tell you where to go so you can get back to your timeline. And I was like, they just need to Google Armello. Like, you're trying to make it look like this was a setup of some sort. It looks as if you've not done a very good job. And that was kind of all I remember. There was a lot more to it than that. It was really convoluted. But that's sort of the long and short of it. And then as I woke up, there was another dream, but I'll go into that after.
I've lost internet. I'm trying to search for what dreaming of ghosts means because I've not got my book with me. We're roughing it, as we say in our car on our phones.
Roughing it. Dreams of ghosts. Yeah, there were a lot of ghosts. I don't have it now either. I don't have them.
I have to look it up in a bit when we have. But on the other hand, I only had like 2 dreams, and one of them was just that I looked across they both took place in the tent.
Oh!
One of them was that I looked across and sat next to me was just this little rat. And I was like, oh, of course, that's the rat that tells Kirsty what to do. And then that was it. That was the entire dream.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then the other one, I don't even know if it happened. At some point in the night, did I start unzipping the tent?
I don't think so.
Either it happened or I had a dream that I was suddenly like, I need to check outside for a horse. And I started unzipping the tent and then you woke up and you were like, huh? And I was like, oh, sorry, it's happening in the dream. And
I vaguely.
And I was like, did that happen or did I dream that happened?
That might have happened.
And I just remember like closing the zip again, just lying back down. I wasn't sure.
I feel like we should have the Zoom mic going tonight if it's not raining because we're going to be talking so much shit.
Oh, I managed to load one page, but I can't get through to the next bit.
Dreaming about ghosts suggests you're feeling guilty or fearful of something in your past.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, I guess, like, because they were at doors, I mean, we looked up doors the other week, and that was, like, it was, like, intrusion and stuff, wasn't it? So I guess it's your old fears trying to break in if they're screaming at doors.
I guess, yeah.
What have you done? What are you guilting about? What are you...
I don't know.
What crime did you commit?
I've not committed anything. I think part of me, despite the fact that I'm well now, was like, but what if I'm not well? What if I'm not well and I make Bryony ill?
Yeah.
And I did feel that a little bit, so that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had that a bit with, like, even though I wasn't ill, I was still like, what if I was the one that made Kirsty ill? Even though it doesn't
You've been
make
testing
sense
negative
whatsoever.
the whole time, and the amount of times, every time someone's got sick, you're like, what if I did that?
I think you do just get, like, so paranoid about, or just, like, yeah, just feeling bad. I think I just happen to know, like, quite a few people who are sort of vulnerable, and you do live in, like, oh, geez, what if I do something and I don't realise, and I don't know.
Yeah.
For someone who didn't grow up Catholic, I'd feel guilty a lot of the time.
Oh my god.
It's just the British experience, I think.
So was that both of your dreams that you had in the tent? Like the
yeah,
rat
that was
and
all
just
I
trying to get
had.
out? Really?
I did have
Okay.
another one, but I cannot remember it at all. But I think it was just to do with the book I'm reading. Because I think it took place in, like, Dickensian London, which is just straight out of the book. So,
Fair.
But yeah.
Well, I had another one. This was after you woke up at 6 a.m. and we went back to sleep. Another very convoluted one, which I feel like I've dreamt about before, but maybe I haven't, because sometimes when you think that, it's just your brain tricking you into thinking it's happened before. But essentially, it was a dream where I was in some sort of strange place. I'm not sure if I was abroad, like in like a futuristic Asia or something, but also the layout of the building I was in was kind of like an airport, but like really fancy. And they were doing like tests and stuff, like maths tests and junk, like on me, and like there were other people there, like my family was there, and there were a few other people that I just couldn't name. And in the end, essentially, they were trying to take my family away because I was like some sort of main character that they needed for something.
Yeah.
And I started like trying to make a deal with them. I was like, no. Like, I'll do this, but let my mum stay, etc., etc. And it was kind of like that, but it was all it wasn't just like, that's my mum. It was like watching a show and it was other people, but it was also my parents at the same time. And yeah, there was a lot of like big screens where they were getting us to answer questions and stuff like that. And then eventually, this is where it got like even more confusing. It was like they wanted us to go. I think you ended up with me eventually, and me and you were in what was essentially a mine. There were like 4 kingdoms, or whatever word you want to use, like 4 nations, and we were there for one of them, and we were in this mine, and we were trying to mine agate, or agate, like banded agate. And this tunnel that we were in was literally a tunnel to the next kingdom, where they wanted different minerals, but we were here for agate. And up until that point, I had apparently dreamt about being in this mine trying to mine agate. But then me and you got to the next part of the tunnel. We went past a lot of people. It was kind of like a Minecraft tunnel, like with stairs going up and then back down sort of thing. And we got to the other side, and then at that point the tunnels got a lot more confusing. Like there were small mine shafts that we had to crawl through, a lot more different routes, whereas the other one was literally just a tunnel. And once we got there, my history teacher from school, Mr. Wright, turned up, and he was like, "Oh, you're right, you're doing all right. Yeah, here we're looking for mossy agate, and it looks like this." And he showed us, in my dream it was green. I don't think mossy agate is actually green. But yeah, like they showed us like a wall full of minerals, and instead of just banded agate, which was very easy to see, it was just lots of little rocks, and some of them were green, but some of the green ones weren't the right thing. And it was like, right, we got to get mining, Bryony. We got to get some mossy agate. And then it turns out there were also 2 other of these like kingdoms somewhere else, which maybe I'll dream about one day. But yeah, we were there for our mossy agate. So I don't know what other kind of agate we'll get next time, but yeah.
Well, I've lost internet again, so I say
we'll look it up later.
Yeah, we might even find there's lots of witch books in Burley, or like
true.
Witch shops that sell books. So
they will definitely have shops that are selling agate.
Yeah,
so maybe it's a sign. Maybe I should buy some.
Yeah, we can get hold of it. We'll do a part 2 where the meaning shall be revealed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I watch a lot of rock hounding videos on YouTube because I'm a loser. I love watching videos where they find agates and they cut them open and they look at the bands and it's like, whoa, look at that one.
I think one of the things that is so weird for me is that literally I'm reading a book that's like a modern retelling of the Minotaur story. So a lot of the themes in that are like twisting tunnels and labyrinthine places and stuff like that. So maybe I sent that into your head.
Maybe.
Through the tent. I didn't have any dreams. I just sent them all to you.
Yeah, it's I do really remember like and at that point when we were in those winding tunnels as well, I was in first person, which is rare. I remember looking and it was very dark, and honestly, I'll show you, you can't see it, listeners, but like when I was taking pictures of the sky last night with Bryony, you can't really see it, but the way that my phone did it, you can't see because it's all black, but it had like a black cloudy bit around the image.
Yeah.
It's just the way my phone was taking the picture, and that's kind of what it was like going through the tunnel.
Oh,
like it was like dark around the edges, and yeah. So maybe just sort of us wandering around taking pictures last night helped that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was me and you looking for stones. So. But yeah, specifically we wanted banded agate in the first bit and then mossy agate in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it. It was a lot more complicated than that. But those are the small things that I remember.
The bits you can piece
I had
together.
2 very complicated dreams.
Oh my God, we have changed. Like, we've just swapped over.
Swapped.
You're there with your
it.
story, and I'm like, I saw a rat.
I thought that there was a rat next to me. Oh, guys, so when we were in the tent last night, like, I think the what happened probably was that you must have been sleeping quite light because it sounds like you were just dreaming things were near you in the tent.
Yeah.
Whereas I was dreaming very lightly, but that means that I have really intense dreams.
Yeah.
Because we had that cow next to us. We went to bed at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we were just laying there chilling, and it was like, oh, honk shoo me me. And we're just laying there, and then we hear moo.
At first, it was sort of like a...
it was kind of far away.
Is this someone?
Is someone snoring? Yeah.
Or because it sounded like we were like cow or snort, and it got to the point where we were like, we need to
That's a
investigate
cow.
this.
That's a cow.
We got up, and there was just a cow just munching tiny apples
Yeah.
next to the tent.
We're like, oh, there he is, little guy. So yeah, that kind of kept us awake for the next like 2 hours. Every time we heard him go moo, we were like, woo!
It was so gentle, just these tiny little.
They were. He knew it was late. He had to keep the noise down.
Yeah,
Bless
indoor
him.
voice. Don't move.
Don't moo.
Moo.
Bless him. I love cows so much.
I'm gonna move all the apples into the tent tonight.
Good idea, good idea.
Lure in the cow.
When we arrived at the campsite, I don't know if I said this yesterday, but they said to us, don't leave any food in your tent because the animals will find it and they will not use the zip.
Oh my god. Well, shall we go and explore Burnley?
Yes, let's
and
go
we
for a
shall
walk.
return, gentle listeners, for you in the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
So, and bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. So, we had our trip to Burley.
We did.
And we have a little bit of information about Burley as well, because there used to be a witch in the 1950s who lived there called Sybil Leek.
Mm.
And my favorite thing about her, it says she wore a long black cloak and carried a pet jackdaw named Mr. Hotfoot Jackson.
What a good name! I think in the end, didn't she move to America?
Oh.
I think people didn't like her swanning around looking like a witch.
Yeah.
So in the end, she was like, "All right, I'm leaving," and she left. And I think she moved abroad.
Oh my god.
I think that's
It says Leek's presence in Burley caused a stir, with some locals upset by her and others uncomfortable having her in their midst. I think she actually. So we went into a shop today called A Coven of Witches, and I think did she actually found that shop? Is that am I making that up? I
She
feel
might
like I
have.
read something that was like it's been named that ever since. But interestingly enough, we did actually go into that shop called A Coven of Witches, and Kirsty bought the Stone of Her Dreams.
I did. I bought a mossy agate.
And
I thought I'd better do it.
well, you've
'cause,
been told to by
I
Sybil
was told
herself.
to. My dreams told me to do it.
But I was looking at the properties of mossy agate,
Oh.
and it says a stone of new beginnings, but it also says it attracts an abundance in wealth and improves self-esteem.
Oh, thank God for that. I
So
bloody need it.
she could sense, as you cross the threshold into Burley, she could sense that, and she was like, get this woman an agate. No, not just any.
A mossy
Make
one.
it mossy. So we
Yeah.
also, now we have Signal, managed to look up the meaning. Oh, actually, we did have a little sneaky peek in some of the books and the witch's shop
Oh, that's
for
true.
the meanings as well.
We did. Yeah, basically we saw that ghosts, pretty much what we said this morning, was guilt, right?
Yeah.
So,
And with mines, it said, oh wait, I found a page for ghosts. It said, the ghost in your dreams represents something from the past or unresolved issue that is haunting you. It may indicate there are emotions or memories that you haven't fully processed or addressed. But also for mines, it said, let me go back to that tab. Whether descending into a coal mine, a gold mine, or a diamond mine, the specific context. Wait, this is the wrong thing.
oh, this is mine. That's
This
still
is-
relevant.
Oh wait, journeying through a mine in a dream is akin to embarking on an introspective expedition, venturing into the labyrinthine corridors of our own psyche.
Mm.
So it might be that you were in the mine,
Yeah.
you were digging around, you were like, little bit low self-esteem. What can I do? Got my mossy agate,
got me rock.
and now I'm sorted.
Nice. And the wealth that comes with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the wealth isn't coming in because I spent 20 quid on some cat tarot cards today. So, but I've got some nice cards at the very least.
They are very cute.
They're so cute. I've not been able to look at them properly because it's been raining all day. I don't want to get wet. But when we get home, I'll look at them. But yeah, so that's what we did today. We went to Burley.
And then after that, we went to what is it called?
The New Forest Wildlife Park.
Yeah, we saw, oh my gosh. We just spent an afternoon looking at so many cuties, and then we were so tired afterwards because it's just something very tiring about just viewing.
I think just being in the rain as well is quite tiring.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I
true.
think we had quite a disturbed sleep last night.
Yeah.
And I reckon we will tonight as well, because that happens when you're in a tent.
Yeah.
And we were besieged by hornets earlier, so we're going to spend all night on guard.
I really hope they don't work their way into my dream or anything. I just, oh.
If you open the bloody door and let the hornets in, I'm going to be real mad.
I was telling Kirsty earlier that one of the times, I think there's 2 times I think that I know that I've possibly sleepwalked. One of them was when I was on holiday in France, and my brother and sister's bed, we were sleeping up in an attic, and my brother and sister were in beds the opposite side of the room to me. And I woke up and I sat up and I looked across, and it was my bed I was looking at, and I was like, oh, how did I get here? But to be honest, I was little, so I might have just been like, I'm going to go cuddle my sister now. But the other time was I heard a buzzing in my sleep, and I woke up and I was already by my door, and I was like, how did I get here? And I looked around and there was a wasp on the window. So my body had obviously gone like we're getting out of here. Like whether the mine's coming with me or not, we're going. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do if we hear the hornets outside.
I don't know where they came from. We've been literally here since yesterday afternoon, sitting outside. We were outside earlier. We were having a nice cup of tea. Or maybe we weren't, but we were sitting there eating marshmallows. That was it.
Yeah.
And we had the torch. Everything was fine. Then the lantern we had ran out of battery, and I went and got another one, put it outside, and as soon as I did that, it must have just been a different kind of light, because the bugs went for it, and it was 2 hornets. They were just like, what's up? And oh God, both of us are terrified of hornets, so it was like,
yeah. Kirsty was very brave. But yeah, something about that light. They were literally like, the beacons are lit.
They loved
Let's
it.
go.
They bloody loved it. So that one got turned off, and we were just walking around in the dark for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But now we're safe in our tent, and they can't get in. The daddy long legs are trying.
Yeah, the gentle buzzing of daddy long legs trying to get in. Wait, can we hear him? Can I hold
There's one over there.
Okay, see if you can hear this.
Trying. That's him knocking on the door.
Sorry, Daddy, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Stay out there.
So yeah, we went to Burley. We had a lovely time. We went to the New Forest Wildlife Park. Then we came back and had a big bowl of pasta.
Yeah.
And then got attacked by hornets. Yes.
So, I mean, I feel like you kept up your dream end of the bargain really well last night, whereas I saw a rat and I unzipped the tent.
I mean, that sounds like a lovely dream to me. But you dream all the time. I'm the one who's always like, I've not had a dream. So it was my turn. Really.
Yeah. I mean, if it keeps going like this tomorrow night, you might just have to always sleep in a tent when you...
That's true.
I'm like, okay, 1 night a week I go into my comfort zone tent and I have my dreams.
Got to go in there for the content.
Yeah.
I'll set up in the living room on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh. I reckon I'll have more tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping that now I've been here for 1 night and sort of got used to the sounds and the place that maybe tonight I'll get the goods. Maybe Sybil will visit me tonight and tell me what I need.
Well, I've got plenty more rocks at home, so if you need one.
Nice.
I don't have mossy agate, but now I do. But we went into one of the other shops. We went into Coven of Witches first. And I was like, right, I need to buy a mossy agate. And I did. And then we went into another shop because there's a ton of witchy shops there. It's just the whole place is a tourist trap for witchy shops.
Yeah.
And their mossy agate was so much nicer.
Oh, Oh no!
And I was like, shit. But it was more expensive, to be fair. But I already got one. It's too late. Too late now. Too late.
Oh no!
But so I bought some fudge instead.
Well, there you go. It's like rocks you can eat.
Exactly, and I have been. Every time I go into my car, I'm like, woohoo.
Well, I guess shall we go and get snuggled again and see what this night provides?
Yeah. And then in the morning when it's raining and we're packing the tent away, we'll find time to update you all.
Yeah.
But yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Night,
we'll see you soon.
We'll see you in, but 2 seconds for you. But a whole night for us.
Good night.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We have had another night of camp dreams. Camping camping dreams.
Camping dreams.
This is a very camp episode of Comfort Zone.
Oh, yes, full of camping
Kisses.
kisses.
So, again, Kirsty has held up her end of the bargain.
I've had another dream, another very vivid one.
I, on the other hand,
Oh.
had a dream that is not for the gentle ears of Comfort Zone listeners.
Not applicable.
No.
No. So I'll be carrying the show today.
Yeah, this is very much. I'm having a lovely, jolly weekend. Kirsty's working hard. Coming
Yeah,
up
you
with
definitely had a
content.
jolly something. I've heard the dream.
Nice to have a dream with a happy ending. So, Kirsty will now retell her dream. Mine will stay in the depths of my soul.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to Kirsty's Camping Dreams. I've had another one. This time, I had a dream that I went back in time from the year 2024 to around 2020-ish, but it wasn't COVID, it was just normal.
Oh.
And I went back and I was in like a shop, like a game shop. And I was telling everyone that, well, I was going to keep quiet originally because time travel kind of bad. You don't want to go back and tell everyone you've time traveled, you know.
Yeah.
But then I did. So I went back and I told everyone that one specific brand of Pokemon figurines that they had in this shop, they were like a bad off-brand, would like go viral and they'd become really popular. They were like $2.99 for this one figurine, and then people were going to be scalping them and charging a fortune for them. And I was just like, this is the one. This is the one you want to get and like store ready for when that happens. Not only that, but in this shop there was the lady that owned it, she had almost like an arcade machine with a 3D printer built into it with like a glass screen.
Oh.
So it was like a centerpiece of the store. And I knew that it wasn't there in the present. So I was like, oh, when you sell it, how much are you thinking of selling it for? And she didn't tell me she was going to sell it, but I knew she was going to.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I was thinking like £100. And I was like, oh my God, bargain. And I was like, well, hit me up when you want to sell it. Like, you know, because obviously I'm not planning to go back to my own timeline for some reason. And I was just like, yeah, just let me know when you want to sell it because I'll take it. What else? So I'm talking about like how I'm from the future. And then somebody that I'm with, it was a girl, I don't know who it was, got angry that I was taking this a bit too much for granted. She was like, you're causing trouble by telling everyone that you're from the future and telling us all these things. And then she stormed off and I was like, well, she needs to lighten up. Then at that point, it sort of took a turn. It kind of went Harry Potter flavour, which is not, a bit shit really, but much more gory.
Oh.
So the girl that stormed off, I think, was like the Hermione figure. I don't know. And then at that point, I was like, I need to get back to the castle. And like, I was along a tree line, kind of like we went for a walk yesterday along the forest, and it was sort of as if I was there, and I was like, I need to get back to the forest, which was back along the tree line and then through like a train yard and then over a body of water, and that's where the castle was. And so I did a big walk, and everything was in ruins. It was all just completely fucked. At one point I went into a room and it was full of decapitated Ron heads.
Oh.
It was just all Ron. And so like a lot of them were smiling, and it was just like, oh, well, that's that. Close the door, leave. And then I kept going. I got past like the train yard, and there to the left of me it felt like there was either water or like just an abyss. But I kept going. And then when I got to this sea that was there, it was like a waterfall, like the edge of a waterfall, but a really treacherous sea and waterfall. And I had to swim along the edge of this waterfall to get to the castle, and it was horrible. Like, it was like swimming in open ocean, except there's the chance that you might just be swept down a waterfall.
Yeah.
At any moment. And it was really, really treacherous and wavy and horrible. Eventually I got to the castle, and I was going in, and there was like this weird lift. We were in like a queue to get in, and they had like a rickety old wooden lift, and they were just sort of lowering it down this room, and it was like, one at a time. And so people were getting on, and they would stand on it, and then it would get lifted up, and they were like, okay. And then they go one leg over and the other, and I'm behind them like, for Christ's sake, I'm trying to get in this sodding castle. I just swam across the ocean to get here, and you're taking so much time. Eventually I get up there, and then I'm in a courtyard. It's like a big courtyard. There's like bushes, and there's like pillars, and just sort of, it's a bit sort of ruined, but it's nice, pretty. And I think at some point, like I was fine. I wasn't stressed about this dream, though apparently I did wake up screaming at some point. But in the dream, I was like, God, so much terrible stuff has happened to me. I need to tell people so they feel bad for me.
Oh.
So at some point, like Professor Trelawney, like the tea reading lady from Harry Potter, like she appears, but she looks a lot more put together.
Yeah.
She's just fine. She's vibing, and I was just like, bitch, you don't know what I've been through. And I spoke to her about something, I can't remember what. But then, last thing, there was a griffin or a hippogriff there. But it had like an exposed part of its skull, like it was missing a part of its scalp.
Yeah.
So it was a bit sort of undead, and I was just like, that's not very nice. Let me just check my note in case there's anything else I've forgot, but I think there was a room full of Ron heads, then I had to swim across a horrible sea. Got there was a griffin, he had a chunk missing out of his head. And that was it.
Oh my God.
And that was kind of it. So it was a bit wild, really.
Yeah. I mean, some of it I think makes sense. Like, we went into the fudge shop and there were the Ron head Pez dispensers.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even like register what characters were on the Pez dispensers, but yeah, I guess.
So I guess like,
Jeez.
And I guess there was some of the reviews for the witchy shops in Burley were like, it's not traditional anymore. It's full of like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was that side of the dream.
Yeah, and then like Trelawney showing up because she's like the witchy, psychic tarot reading, tea leaf reading woman. So that makes sense.
You got new tarot cards.
I did
so
get
I guess
new tarot
that makes
cards
sense.
yesterday, yeah.
And I guess just going for like the walk as well. I mean, for people at home, there was some point in the night where Kirsty woke up like sort of like panicked. Like I assumed that you had thought a hornet had got into the tent.
There was a point earlier in the night when I did.
Yeah.
I heard a buzz and I was like, but it didn't wake you up, I don't think, at that point.
There was some time when I woke up by that and I was just there like, it's okay, my love, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. And then there was silence and then Kirsty just went, gross. And then just rolled over and went back to sleep. I was just
that might have been the Ron head.
Yeah. But I was like, is she talking about something in the dream? Is my comfort gross? Like, gross. What is she like? Gross emotions. Get away. I want to look up, what does dreams of...
Do you want me to type?
Yeah, dreams of time travel.
Yeah, because that's the second time travel dream I've had this week. If you dream about travelling through time, you're out of balance and looking for a sense of belonging. This represents all of your dreams for the past and the future. What?
Wow.
All of them ever. Let go of emotional baggage you're carrying and go and lighten your load. Go and have a boo.
Oh my gosh.
I
mean, I guess in a way, like, so you had the slight, like, what was it, like, guilt dream the night before about, like, oh geez, what if I, have, brought COVID with me, or what if I brought something like that with me? And I wonder if you time traveling to a time before the bad time. I wonder if that was your way of being like, geez, I wish this was something we just didn't have to worry about.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I still got
like
COVID
that.
on the old brain.
Well, I'm not surprised. Like, it bloody knocked you out for ages.
It did.
It did you
I was
in.
looking at, like, when we last recorded, and I was like, oh my God, that was like 2 weeks ago. I've been sick the whole time.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that you would want to travel back to a time.
Yeah. But I
when
think, like, in my mind, it was like 2020. Like, my brain said, it's 2020. But I think it was earlier, like, just based on where I was. Because I think at one point I was, like, in town with my parents and stuff. So it would have been, like, earlier than that, like, when I lived with them. But it wasn't, like, a shop I'd ever been to. It was all completely made up in my mind. So there wasn't really a definite time. But, yeah, my brain was like, it's 2020.
Well, I guess as well, there was, like, we were in a place that, like, we went back to that wildlife park you'd been to before, and we were in a place that you said looked like where you went, like, you'd been before on holidays and, like, for uni and, like, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
and
I
I've been
guess
to Burley before as well, like, when I, like, visited the New Forest with friends.
Yeah. So I wonder if, like, it was just your brain being, like, just having memories, but it knew you were in the current time, so it knew it was...
Yeah, I'm just reverting back to pre-COVID.
Yeah, just before she knew me, she wants to go back.
Goodbye. If I go back far enough, I might get invited to Bryony's wedding. It's the first thing I do when I go back in time. I find her number and I'm like, bitch,
I'm
invite me
who
to
is
your
this?
wedding. You don't know me, but I'm telling you right now.
I'm getting married.
Shit, I've gone too far.
We end up marrying Kirsty.
Oh, a good timeline.
But yeah, I think it was just a very much like a brain processing dream.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Like, I didn't even think of the Pez dispensers because, yeah, we were in the fudge shop and you pointed them out and it was just a little...
It was like Harry Potter Funko Pop. I was saying, like, it's the worst.
Yeah, the worst.
Worst combination. But they were marked as vegan, so,
there we
know.
go. That's all right then. Yeah. But yeah, that's the second time travel dream that I've had this weekend.
Yeah.
And I got myself a cheap 3D printer out of it, apparently, so...
Nice.
That was that, yeah. And I probably stored a bunch of those Pokemon figurines so I could sell them in the future.
Next to all the Beanie Babies. And
Yeah.
that we were so certain were going to be worth millions one day.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well.
That was that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, we're running out of time, everyone.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely been Kirsty working hard this weekend, and I've just had a lovely time.
You just got to put me in a tent every week.
Yeah.
And then I'll dream for you.
Yeah, maybe you should start making yourself like a little blanket fort at home.
I've done that before.
Did it work?
I can't remember.
Oh.
I think I did it when I was sick. I thought I had COVID, but I didn't. But I made a blanket fort. And I thought I was sick or Tabs was sick.
Oh.
So I made a blanket fort to make one of us feel better.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which.
I have to do it again and see if it has the same camping
Yeah.
effect.
Exactly. I'll just put a tent in my house.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Kirsty, for a very lovely chat.
Thank you, Bryony.
And
I
a
hope you enjoyed.
special... I did. Oh, you mean them? Oh.
I hope you enjoyed it.
A
know you
special thank you as well to our patrons who funded Kirsty's dreams this weekend. Not so much thank you for mine.
Oh no.
We don't have a tier high enough for mine. But we did have a very lovely time, and I hope you enjoyed this little comfort zone on tour again. And if anyone has any suggestions for where else we could go and do a little dream experiment there, let us know.
I think we should stay in a treehouse.
Oh my gosh, yes. Dreams of falling.
Oh God. Maybe for me. I don't know about you. I don't know what you're going to be dreaming of.
Well, until next time, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.